Our next speaker is Gerald Allen. He was just a little bit late, but we're going to forgive him. Just a little bit. Just when he comes up, don't clap quite so long. Maybe that'll take care of the time factor. But I have come to know and love this man. He's one of the very few lawmakers that will call me back when I text him or call him. And he is championing SB 14. He's taking a lot of heat for it, but he's standing up for the people of the state of Alabama like we elected him to do. And I'm very proud to know him. I know his son, Judge Wes Allen, and fine young man. I don't think I've met any of his other children, but we are just tickled and honored that he is handling SB 14 for us. And you know, the thing, while he's getting ready here just a minute, we BamaCarry elected to send out a certified letter to every sheriff in the state of Alabama, all 67 of them. And we asked for some information from them. And as y'all know, we've had trouble with the Alabama Sheriff's Association from day one. And somebody was laughing about that, but that's true. It really is. And the last 2 years, SB 14 was brought up. They stood before the Senate subcommittee and said all 67 sheriffs in the state of Alabama are against this bill. Well, guess what? They lied. They lied both times, and they said it over and over. The truth is they never asked all sheriffs in the state of Alabama. And the truth is we raised a lot of ruckus from them by sending out these letters asking them specific questions. I can't remember exactly right now what all of them were, but we wanted to see their permit. You know, there's no restriction should be on the Alabama permit at all. How many of y'all have got an Alabama permit that's got restrictions on it? See, the restrictions, take you a black marker and just mark them off because they're not worth the paper they're written on. But some of the sheriffs still want to obtain and keep that power that they think they have. But one of our biggest supporters in the sheriffs in Alabama is Sheriff Mike Hale from Jefferson County. And I'm real proud of Sheriff Mike Hale. He told them to leave us alone. We were doing it right, and y'all get off of them. Y'all need to get your head screwed on right and get on something else that bothers the criminals, not the law-abiding citizen. So I'm tickled to death with him, and he would be here today if he did not have another appointment. So we asked him too late. But another thing I forgot to mention too is that Edward Peavy back there, wave your hand, y'all see where he's at back there. The guy, the outstanding BamaCarry member of 2015 back there, has got some weapons back there that you need to see right after when we take a break here in just a few minutes. I want you to see how fast his kids can disassemble and reassemble. And I think for 50 bucks, y'all will race, won't you, Edward? Oh yeah, yeah. So anyway, y'all check him out. Gerald, you ready? Come right on in. Y'all welcome Gerald out.
And thank you again for the invitation, for inviting me back. And it's been a fun week in Montgomery, and next week we'll go into a 3-day legislative session. And on Wednesday morning, we will be going into committee meetings, and you will be hearing about SB 14. 14 will be in committee, and it's been called on a public hearing, and each of you will be challenged on Monday, since Monday's a holiday for most of you, maybe. But Monday and Tuesday, I'm going to encourage each of you to make those necessary phone calls to your House members and to your state senators throughout the state. So that's very important. John Rice made some very valid points about connecting with people, and your legislators are human beings just like you. And when they feel that human touch, that personal call, that personal letter, that invitation to a breakfast meeting, it does have an effect on any elected official. But when you reach out to a state senator and to a House member, and you look at them and you share with them the facts and all the things it takes to convince someone that doing the right thing is the best thing to do. Many times in civic meetings, I'm asked just one question, and that is, Gerald, please define for us the difference between a Republican and a Democrat. And of course, I don't go that way. And I answer the question like this: let me tell you the difference between a conservative and a liberal. Conservatives make decisions by looking at the facts, and liberals make decisions by looking at feelings, what feels good. And so when you do meet with your legislators or your sheriff or your county commission or your probate judge or your school board members on different issues, from common core to having the right to bear arms, it's very important to have the facts. I was sharing earlier this morning with some buddies of mine in Tuscaloosa. The best gun shop today that sells the most guns today is the White House. Anytime that you put together policies like the current president and his administration, then they are shredding the Constitution. Not only shredding the Constitution, but they're violating the rights the founding fathers gave each of us. And so we've been going on an ongoing battle and fight with you as well. Many of you have been involved in this fight. Thank you. And Eddie here has been the leader in this as well, and NRA and John Rice. You know, when you have men who's willing to stand up and take the first hit, then that's a real man for you. But this coming Wednesday is very critical for all of us. And when you look at the fact that SB 14 passed the Senate last year, 26-6 or 5, I'm not sure. John, you remember the vote? Okay, the 26-5. And then it went to the House and it sat in the basket for days. And then once the bill was pulled from the basket, that's just a legislative move to kill a bill. And then it was signed to a committee, and then the chair of the committee followed instructions from someone else to sit on the bill, and then the time ran out. And so that's what we're dealing with here today, and that's why it's so important for us to get the bill out of committee. Now, what's going to happen next week is this: Wednesday we're going to have the public hearing, and then and of course, you know, my hope is that everyone that shows up in Montgomery, each of you, will have an opportunity to sign up on a sheet of paper to be a person of interest to speak on the bill. It's your right to speak on the bill. And so the next week, I think it's the 24th, John, calendar. I haven't looked at the calendar, but the next week is when the bill will be voted on in committee. And then the Rules Chair, and by the way, let me just tell you this, our caucus did some polling. This bill polled very, very high. The citizens of Alabama would like for this piece of legislation to pass. Now, there may be one or two of you in this crowd today that's new, and let me just give you just a very brief summary of what the bill does. It's very brief, actually. Alabama is the only state in the South that does not have the policy like our sister states like Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi, and other states, and the other 21 other states in this country has the policy in place already where you can carry a loaded gun in your vehicle without a concealed permit. And so that's the reason why this is so important. And you know, and the other thing is this, is that on open carry at the Alabama Supreme Court ruled in 1849 that open carry is legal in Alabama. But the crying shame of the matter is this, is that, you know, when open carry gets in his vehicle and drives away, guess what? you must have a concealed weapon permit. That's crazy. And that's what John was speaking about moments ago about, I mean, we should have the right to carry our gun regardless of where we are and how we carry it and what vehicle that we're in. So it's very important. So what's going to happen is that it's going to go to the committee, public hearing, and then the next week on the 24th of February, it's going to be voted out at the committee. We got the votes already in the Senate. And then we're going to get the rules chair. The rules chair is Senator Jabbo Wagner. I don't know if many of you may know him or he's your state senator, but I'm going to ask each of you to maybe go to the website and get his email address and shoot him a quick, brief email encouraging him. And but he's on board. He's on board, but he does have to carry it before the rules committee. And but we're not going to have a problem with that. The problem is going to be once we get it out of the Senate and goes to the House. That's where the problem's going to be. And so if you're from Auburn, if you're from Lee County, let me encourage you to make contact with your friends and buddies and whoever you know down that way to encourage the Speaker of the House to do the right thing on this. So, Eddie, I want to thank you for inviting me here today, and thank each of you for taking the time, making the effort, investing in the future of this great country. Thank you so much.